A Pennsylvania state trooper has been arrested and charged with felony strangulation, unlawful restraint, false imprisonment, simple assault, recklessly endangering another person, and official oppression.
What?
You want to know why?
Yeah.
Well, look at this picture. This is him, okay? He is a married man, and that is his mistress. Apparently, they had some kind of spat. I mean, I don't know what it was about, but she's out in this forest going for a walk. He shows up, and he calls 911 or something, and he tries to use his being a state trooper to get her admitted to a psych ward. Like 5150 her, put her in a psych ward, and she's not willing, obviously. And the video is kind of crazy. She's sitting there, like, he's sitting on top of her. She's laying there. He's sitting on top of her, and she says that he tackled her. He tackled her, attacked her, and was then sitting on top of her. And she's like, what did I even do? Like, looks at the camera person and is like, would you do this? Like, like, I've never had anybody do this to me before. And what did I do wrong? Like, it's sad. And she's suffered injuries to her forehead, torso, back, buttocks, forearms, knee, lower body. Like, he did attack her.
Jeez.
The attack wasn't all on camera. It was mostly him pinning her down afterwards.
Who's recording? Does it say?
It's a stander-by, I think.
Just
it was
a
just somebody.
person?
Yep.
What? And he's just comfortable doing that out in the open?
Apparently, she was just like at...
Gosh.
I mean, some kind of forest, like in a public area, walking. Clearly they were texting and having some kind of fight. He used her text messages out of context to try to get her admitted, and he did. She was in there for 5 days without having any warning signs of being, like, unstable, like gonna harm herself. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So
he's probably regretting it now. I would assume they're gonna hold him accountable.
Yeah, this is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Oh yeah, she said he was making her look insane, like on purpose. And it's just such an abuse of power, like, obviously. And I feel like he's an extreme, like, there's no way he can be a cop after this.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way. He can't be. I mean, he's facing a lot of charges. Clearly he won't be. But that makes me concerned about the way he's treated people before this. I know I know there's an emotional connection there because this is like his mistress, and they were having a fight, but that shows that he's willing to abuse power.
Yep.
It shows that he can't control his emotions, and he has some kind of obsession issue, clearly.
Yeah.
So it's like, what has he done with his power and authority in the past?
Yeah, in other situations. No, I feel the same way, and that's why when we look at officers, that's why when we look at people that are in the Justice Department and systems like judges, anybody who works in the legal system, anything that has anything to do with that, where you're in a position of power over people or a person in general society, you need to be judged harshly when you do something that breaks that respect of the general public and general population. Because with law enforcement, like, I do this anyways, but most of the time, their position requires you to have a certain level of trust, even when you don't know them. That's just what the badge gives. That's just what the title gives. I suggest people always try and verify, like if there's cops at your door, don't open the door type thing. Find out what's going on first. Yeah. One, you don't even know if it's a real cop. Tons of serialists have dressed up as cops.
So scary.
Yeah, and but I try and always side with law enforcement in these situations until there is proof that you can't anymore. And this is one of those situations where this is enough evidence to prove this guy now needs to be judged and graded very harshly in this situation. And it sounds like they're doing the right thing, which good for that office, that law enforcement office.
Yeah. I mean, because this could have got covered up, maybe, possibly. Like, I don't know if the video went viral or not, or if it is just now since he's been arrested. But he was arrested this past Thursday, and he did this August 21st.
Okay.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
So I think this video is getting released because he was arrested. I don't think it went viral first. So that means it probably could have been covered up if they wanted to. Yeah.
I mean, it could be. Sometimes investigations take a while. It's not uncommon for an investigation to take a month,
No,
so,
I think it did. I was just saying if they wanted to, because it wasn't out on the internet for everybody to watch, where they would be holding the police department accountable, or, I mean, state trooper. It's not like just the police department. But,
no, I was just letting the viewers know in that situation.
Yeah, I'm sure that,
So, yeah. No, it's super interesting for sure.
But if I didn't say his name, it's Ronald Davis. So, crazy. Just so crazy.
It is, and our law enforcement just needs to do better, honestly. We've seen quite a few different situations where law enforcement has not really taken the right approach. And look, there's a difference between people making mistakes and making these huge mistakes. If I saw a law enforcement article where it sounds like a police officer made a mistake, an honest mistake, I would not post that article and judge that officer harshly, because they're going to make mistakes just like all people out there. But there are certain mistakes that you have to be held accountable to. Like that one story we covered where that cop got caught on camera with a ton of children around, and he's hooking up with a girl in his uniform, in his cop car, in the area where kids could see and kids are around. Or a situation like this where a cop is going out of their way to abuse their power and abuse a person, he was restraining her, and he wasn't in uniform. She didn't break the law, so that's kidnapping. Like,
yeah, it is. It is. And
you can't just grab a person and stop them and hold them hostage because you want them to stop doing something. That's not how it works.
Yeah, so she's actually made a comment that she didn't expect it to be a political football, and I'm thinking, like, I just heard about this. It was a political football? Like, what, people were not believing her? But she said she just wanted to clear her name. And this video was published by the Dauphin County District Attorney's Office.
Great.
So
it sounds like they're doing the right thing. Yeah. So hat off to you.
Yeah, for sure. And I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, that's so blatant and in public. Like, why do you guys think he would do that and take that risk? Like, even if you're a corrupt cop, normally you don't take that risk of doing it out in public like that.
I know.
Did he just lose it? He just couldn't.
Yep. Like a crime of passion.
Yeah, but they say he literally launched a campaign. Like, I don't know what that entails, but that's the verbiage that's the words they used. Launched a campaign to get her admitted.
I'm sure he might have, and he probably launched a campaign to bury this stuff, because the difference is when you're emotionally involved in a situation and it's the biggest deal in the world, and you're so invested in that situation, once you calm down, once your adrenaline comes down later, a couple hours later, you're going to look back and be like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, man. That was a bad idea. And then all of a sudden you're scared. What am I going to do? This looks horrible. There was a guy there recording me. What about my job? What is my boss going to think about this? What is my actual wife going to think about this? Like, you know what I mean? All these things start popping up. So a lot of times, I mean, with a dishonest officer, I'm sure that looks like it's easier to just under the rug,
Yeah.
So, Crazy. Let
I
us know
know.
what you think about it, though.